Hello and welcome to today's Wild Hearthstone deck tech and gameplay video on a deck that I'm calling Cthulhu, which is at its core a Corrupt the Waters, really Battlecry heavy control deck that uses either the old Cthulhu or the new Cthulhu as eventual win conditions to just deal a buttload of damage. And if you can get extra activations, for lack of a better word, out of their respective Battlecries with Corrupt the Waters, or maybe even something like a Brilliant Macaw, that's just great. Also, a third little sometimes win con is getting a bunch of eruptions into your deck and then buffing the eruptions with your Incendus. But beyond that, we just run loads of really good Battlecry cards, as the majority of the deck is Battlecry cards, or cards that care about Battlecries, or ones that care about Cthulhu. Kind of like Murloc Grofin is a card that is a Battlecry card. Cards like Parrot Sanctuary and what's the new one? What's the other one? And Fairy Tale Forest are cards that aren't Battlecry cards themselves, but buff Battlecry cards, which is what the deck wants. Then we also have just generally good sort of glue Battlecry cards, anything from Big Game Hunter to Jinyu Water Speaker in case you get low, and even Turbulus to just buff not only the Cthulhu's in question, which, at least in the case of the old Cthulhu, buffs the damage, but where's Turbulus? But you can also just, apply pressure with all of the various Battlecry cards you will eventually cast. Yeah, that you will eventually cast. And again, we have glue cards that care about Battlecry cards, but we also have a couple of cards that are just more controlling tools that were necessary additions that I found in testing. A couple of Thrall's Gifts, just because it's nice to have access to any one of the cards they have, though admittedly Bloodlust isn't always the most useful. A Baking Soda Volcano, again, was one of those cards that came as concessions to more aggressive decks, since this deck is a control deck at its core. And that's kind of... Oh, we also have the new... What's the new... Or a newer... I don't remember which time this Hagatha came in, but I think it's a new one. The new Hagatha that basically will draw two of our Cthulhu pieces, further accelerating our Cthulhu game plan. But that is the basic, really rambly bits of it. We play Corrupt the Waters, loads of Battlecry and Battlecry adjacent cards, also squeezing in some Cthulhu support here and there, to eventually, ideally anyway, cast either of the Cthulhu's for a buttload of damage, or maybe sometimes a bunch of eruptions, and eventually do enough damage in the late game to close out the game that way. With all that out of the way, don't forget to like the video if you like it, subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future, and if you have any sort of questions like I don't have X, what about Y, or other generally nice and or constructive comments, I'll do what I can to respond to what I see. And I know that I might need to clarify some things, but I have been trying this intro for like 10 minutes and it's been kicking my butt, so I just got to get it out. So if you have any sort of questions that you might have that I didn't thoroughly explain because I'm... Okay, card. That I didn't thoroughly explain and you need a little more explanation on it, hopefully by the time this video comes out, I'll be able to have gathered my thoughts and my brain won't be melted by then. But anywho, with all that out of the way, now we'll go on to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little Cthulhu Battlecry. Macaw's not that useful early on. Depending on what kind of Druid deck this is, we could be in some trouble. Since we are a control deck, more aggressive decks we can kind of do okay with. Of course, draw dependent. But if it's like some of those one-turn kill things that Druid always has some access to, we can be in trouble since we don't, have an infinite amount of control tools. And they also gain a buttload of armor, so it's hard to even then turn the corner with a big scary Cthulhu. If our opponent's even here. I saw them hover for a second. Oh, still hovering. We there. Okay. Probably some sort of Reno dragon thing, but we might be okay. In that case, we're going to really want to try and go for a kill with either, if not both, of our Cthunes, if the game happens to go that long. Granted, I could be wrong. It could not be a Reno version, but it has the Ray Straza or whatever the hell one that gives you the egg if you don't have duplicates kind of things. So really, there's very little reason to not run it, in my opinion. Anywho, Parrot Sanctuary is fine. Guess we'll play a Growfin. I guess we don't trade in. Parrot Sanctuary is another one of those really nice cards where earlier in my rambly-ass deck tech, I did loosely talk about getting additional copies of either Cthulhu's effects. Of course, once you complete the Corrupted Waters quest, you can just play OG Cthulhu, or Heart and OG Cthulhu here on the same turn. But if you have a couple of Parrot Sanctuaries or other, or like the Auction House Hammer thing, you can get the new Cthulhu down to where you could actually get double activations of that. Granted, that is a very, like, highbrow, everything has to go kind of right to happen moment, but they do happen. Anywho, Sanctuary again, looking for a Hagatha. Or sorry, get a Hagatha looking for spells. Pretty good. And I might as well go ahead and continue our role of controlling here. Dragon Druids don't have us like usually anyway on paper, don't have some like goofy tog waggle, kill you in one turn kind of thing in them usually, so we should be okay. New heights, ramping, doing things. Probably going to try and keep the Maw of Cthulhu for whatever big scary dragon they're actually getting to. Yeah, well, you know, actual coin, I kind of want to save the Parrot Sanctuary, and they both accomplish largely the same thing. Cast to Eye, hope the Splish Splash Boy happens to get dropped. And we just go face. And this is actually like a pretty good, opener to sort of show what the deck wants to do. We're just a control deck, really, deep down at our core, that wants to wait until the late game and then, have our big win con finisher. Like, blow up our opponent. With the caveat that sometimes you can just, bonk people with a respectably large board. Yeah, scratch up the cardboard box. That's what we got it for, big girl. Better to doing that than messing up doors and walls and stuff. Oh, I thought he got a swipe off the gift. I'm happy that more people are running gifts. Those cards are fantastic. We're getting kind of low. Go ahead and play the Water Speaker here. The Water Speaker and the what's the bug that drains 3, whose name I can't remember, were both cards that were included as concessions to like really aggressive decks, or even just decks that have a respectable amount of pressure. I can't just yeah. I got a clear. I got a smooth board clear, I should say, so might as well take it. Yes, we're not getting the full value out of the Baking Soda Volcano's lifesteal, but I'd rather just get rid of the board. Might as well play a Geomancer. Just continually getting our Cthulhu big and scurry for the late game. See what we're going to do here. Cool. Ramping and drawing cards. Granted, if there was ever a deck that was just going to ramp and draw cards, Dragon Druid will do it. Okay. Ah, fair. Any second. We're probably just going to play the Speaky Stomper, just on curve. Not on curve. Next turn. It's the very opposite of on curve. Another one of those effects that are tradable and are also battle cries, so that even if, we don't get the most value out of the Stomper itself, we can always just, throw it back for another card if we want to. Now, what card is that? They're running that card. There's some, like, spell damage thing going on. Maybe. Anywho. Our plan of playing the Stomper remains the same. Next turn, we don't have the most... I guess we'll just use the hero-powered flex. We don't have the most amount of interesting things to do, but we can always just play a couple of Fairy Tale Forest here and draw some cards and nothing else. Also, we are feeling kind of okay. Like, we don't... At least I don't think we're just going to die out of nowhere. Though the Chia Drake makes me concerned. Cool. Anything else? So we... Okay. So draw a spell? Okay. I thought it was draw a card. What is this? Draw a card. They cost 6 or more. Cost 1 let. Cool. That's something. Guess we can use the heart here and get 2 Turbulus activations. Again, I don't think I die. I don't think. Feeling okay? Our opponent's really in the tank when they could just kind of go face, but... I mean, we'll take it, I guess, whatever they decide to do. That kind of stinks, but, like, not that much, really. I think we're getting to the point where we're going to have to cast the Maw here on just whatever the biggest thing they have left on their board is. Although it might be the Nest Matron, so I can actually get through and clear something else as well. Although, go with Thrall's Gift for... Pardon? Okay. That does sort of... Yeah, help me make up my mind a little bit. We might just be dead. We're less dead. Let's see, Lightning Storm number 1. We can always just run, you know, 2 Lightning Storms would be okay. Granted, we're not really progressing that much, which doesn't feel great. But we are alive. And we take those. Are there any dragons that just, like, kill me out of nowhere? They have 13 mana, so, like, there's possibilities of some screwy stuff happening. Oh, maybe they are some, like, Juicy Psych Melon goofy-ish. Do you summon a 1/1 or do you get a 1/1 copy? Okay, maybe not. I got all scared. But I don't think that's necessary. I think we're okay. We're less okay. Okay. I think they're not Reno then. Okay, so I was... Okay. They're not Reno, so I made a half right call. We died to a lot. I don't think there's anything I do to let me live. That really stinks. Oh well, though. Sometimes you just lose. Credit given, though. We went, you know, pretty fair. Can't really ask for much more than that. They didn't do anything weird or goofy like some one-turn combo shenanigans, which can get old fast. We just lost fair and square to a good amount of pressure. And that is kind of the case. At least in my experience here in Gold in the middles, as much as I do genuinely enjoy this list and I have fun with it, you really don't see as much Battlecry Shamans, even when they're doing like some Shutter Walk, like basically, yeah, like some Shutter Walk one-turn combo stuff where they do like dozens and dozens of like individual battle cries in a turn. You don't even really see those anymore. Again, though, the deck still fun, even if we lose. Anywho, on to game number 2. And game number 2 with our... Almost messed up. Game number 2 with our Cthulhu Cry Shaman. Honestly, Big Game Hunter's not that useful. Sentinel's not that useful. Growfin, again, is a perfectly fine card. Mage depends on what they're doing. They're also a Cthulhu list, so now I don't know what they're doing. I mean, well, I don't... It could still be some, like, one-turn combo, thing going on, but it might just be, like, a Cthulhu thing. Okay, just some, like, spell mage. Okay. I mean, we take those. We're happy. Also, it's, like, a deck that's somewhat unique, and we always enjoy running into a unique list, as opposed to much the same thing, even if I do understand why. Oh, is it No-minion Mage? Ooh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. I haven't seen a deck like this in a long time, so, like, yeah, I have no idea. There's also a good amount of RNG from what I do understand of a No-minion Mage card, so, like, who knows what happens. They did make a good call in running a Cthulhu in that it gives them some sort of out at the late game, much in the same way that we do with this list. So you can't really give them too much flack. I guess we'll just do a Cthulhu's Chosen. Try and apply some pressure, if nothing else. Try and keep the Disciple of Cthulhu's for whatever elementals they're going to summon with the keyboard here. Really? Okay. That's fine, right? Yeah, just play another Cthulhu's Chosen. Maybe they make another weird, like... Because that's a very aggressive life sentence. Now, granted, there's not going to be a whole lot of, like, better targets, but, like, goddamn, that's a lot. Okay, we can do that. They have a very big and scary board, it has to be said. I mean, good on them. Good on them. I guess we'll do a Cthulhu shot here. Then play a couple of Growfins and just start chunking away into the 4 health thing, as that is the lowest health total on the board. We have another Cthulhu, another Disciple of Cthulhu, if we need to sort of play some removal here and there. Okay. Now, I mean, the secrets are so random. There's such a large pool of secrets that it's so random that there's not really a point in me, like, trying to, like, play around what secrets they could be. There's just no way of knowing. They are correctly going face, as they should. Guess we can do a 2. Then we can do a 4 here. Do a Cthulhu, getting rid of that. It's objection? Oh, okay, they ring tossed into objection. Okay, that makes me feel better. I think... Well, hold on. I haven't actually run into an objection in all my testing. Okay, if it still sees the Disciple of Cthulhu, we can also remove. But if it sees the Murloc Tiny Fin, I can also just pop into the 2 health dragon here with the body we will summon. Okay, so it doesn't see. Okay, that's fine. I guess we do you. And again, just try and chunk in. I mean, okay, yeah. And this has honestly, yeah, sort of been my, like, experience. Like, the deck is a lot of fun. It's like, but we've gotten to gold and we've sort of plateaued here, which is fine for me. I don't mind. That is basically what I play for. Ooh. Oh, let me finish my thought here before I go on to the next one. This deck has been fun, and it is fun. So regardless of how well it performs, I don't super care. If I have a fun time with an average deck, I'm cool with that. I'd rather have that than a not fun time with an above average deck. All that to being said, you can probably, again, just go back to some Shutterwalk OTK version and have a better performing list, but I find that stuff kind of boring. I don't argue that it's good, it's just kind of boring. All that being said, if they have a counter spell for the Heart of Cthulhu, we just die. We just die. Oh well. Well, hang on. Did we technically die? Okay, we're not technically dead, but we're practically dead. Let's see, trades in here, 459. Okay, I lied. We are. I didn't do math. We're dead. We will actually, I think, do a game number 3, since this is pretty... Oh, this was a pretty short game. So we're going to go on now to the rare game number 3. And game number 3 with our Corrupt the Waters Cthulhu Cry little list. Guess Cthulhu can kind of go back. If it's the quest that does the, whatever the name of it is, that just, like, destroys the opposing hero, then we're in trouble. But if it's, like, a heal quest or a death rattle quest, we can be okay. Granted, we gotta see. But those are, like, the most common things you find. Could be wrong, but this is more of a general statement than it is, like, a guarantee. If our opponent's here... There we go. There we go. I knew it was a quest. If I was a betting man, I would have said it was a quest. In that case... and in particular, the healing quest is probably the best outcome. Just because they don't really... Or they don't necessarily have... Pardon? After a friendly undead dies, deal 2... What the hell is this card? Friendly, I think I have this card, I just don't use it because it's awful. After a friendly undead dies, deals 2 damage to enemy hero, get a random shadow. Pretty cool, I guess. Fine. I guess we'll trade away that. Can't use it right now. Sure, we'll do a sanctuary. But, oh my god, my brain melted. Oh well, anywho. I apologize if my point was going to be very important. My brain's melting today. Anywho, the reason why the health gain quest is probably the best one is that it doesn't usually, is a big caveat statement, but it doesn't usually gain like a buttload of armor, or it doesn't like do that thing where you have like many different layers of like recurring death rattle boards that are difficult to deal with that happen to also be death rattles. So like this is probably the best odds we have. Still feeling good though. I guess we'll go ahead and hex it. It's a little weird. And I'm actually not gonna attack. I don't want to give them any more quest progression than we need to. And with Cthulhu as our ultimate win con here, I might have lied. With Cthulhu as our win con here, we can always just save up and actually just blow it up that way. I guess we'll trade the big game hunter. That's not the most useful right now. I think the last Battlecry we played was the Tiny Fin, I believe. So we can get a 3/3 copy. Yeah. 3/3 attacks. 1/1, 1/1. Summon whatever dude you're gonna summon. What does that do? Death Rattle, resurrect another friendly undead that died this game. Is that one thing not an undead? Okay. Honestly, yeah, we're just gonna play in Syndra's. The honorary third win con. Now, this has happened a non-zero amount of times, so it's technically possible, I guess, that they're gonna run some steam cleaner thing and absolutely ruin my day. Okay, cool, I guess. It's not exactly the most exciting thing in the world, but whatever makes you miserable, I guess. We will go ahead, do the Parrot Sanctuary, and playing a Growfin. With the Incendiarus, or whatever the hell, in his hand, we might as well start going loud. If we sit around long enough, they're going to have their own eruptions that are going to really start to hurt. Okay, maybe I totally lied. Maybe they are just that same boring as hell, really recursive death rattle board thing. If so, oh my god, so boring. But sure, in the meantime, we might as well switch to being the aggressive deck, because we need to be, otherwise we're screwed. Do I just ignore it and go face? Well, no. That, I want to. Did I have lethal? Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot. Oh no, I had lethal. I'm stupid. I'm so fucking dumb. I'm so upset with myself. I realized immediately what I did. But never punished, we got there anywhere, baby. Thank God for Life Drinker. Booyah! Oh my god, I thought I was gonna have to look stupid on the internet. Never do that shit again. Thank God, though. Oh my god, the cringe just started to eat away at my soul. Ugh. But luckily we got there anyway. And we did at least have one game where there's a win in there, showing that at least we had one game in the video where the deck is shown to have won, and therefore the deck is actually functional and isn't purely a meme list. Again, do I think it's like the next big thing and it's gonna like really start climbing? No. But again, that isn't kind of what I play Hearthstone for. The only cat, stop pawing at the window. The only really reason I play ranked is to, one, get a loose feeling of how a deck operates, and two, the rewards you get. More free stuff for the amount of Hearthstone I play is just nice. So, all that being said, it is a list that's going to stick in gold, but if you like being in the middle ground and you don't mind it like I do, you're going to have a good time. The list is fun. I will likely revisit it in the future, though we probably need a different angle as opposed to Cthulhu. We need another big, scary, different kind of win con if we are going to revisit it. But still, I would say I will revisit it in the future. Anywho, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions, like I don't have X, what about Y, or other generally nice and or constructive comments, I will do what I can to respond to what I see. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a nice day, and, don't be a jerk. The world's got plenty. They don't need any more. Anywho, bye-bye.